Three, two, one. Go ahead.
Hello and welcome.
to the low energy beginning of episode 8 of TBD3B. Welcome everybody after a two-week hiatus where we didn't have any episodes. And for good reason, because the last 2 weeks were the final 2 weeks of our semester this year
Yeah,
of college. So now, at the time of recording, we're basically done with everything.
I still
Um,
have to do a thing for an English class.
yeah. It's
I
just
do.
that, right?
Yeah,
You're close. I am
yeah.
fortunately done with everything. I had an English thing. That was also my last assignment, but I actually did it yesterday, so
Yeah, it was due yesterday. I
wow.
got
Did your whole group get an extension?
yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense for just one person since you have to like submit everything
Were you
as
the
one.
one who requested an extension or
I said, hey guys, I can finish it by Friday if you want to, or we could ask for an extension. And they were like, yeah, sure, you can ask for an extension.
Wow. Your group mates seem to be on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah, yeah. It's because we go to the same university. I think we have
Mm.
a special connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like you and I.
I mean, I think we have connections in some areas and not in this particular area of requesting extensions.
No,
Um,
I
that's just
think
my personal opinion.
no. I think if you'd get it, you'd understand. If you
Okay.
knew the situation. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of do know the situation. So, in a way, I understand. Do I approve? No, but it's
Why not?
okay.
You got a lot of work
Um,
to do. Professor says if you have a lot of work, just email him
did you
for an
actually have a
extension.
lot of work?
Yeah,
Like what?
I had a project to work on.
From another class?
Yeah, I had other finals.
Wait, was it
You
the other
gotta.
finals on Monday?
Okay, I had to de-stress. You know,
All right, all
it was
right.
it was a stressful time. You gotta. Yeah, I broke out some acne.
Oh shit, that's not
It
good.
was pretty bad. I stayed up late multiple nights, and I had to wake up early.
That's not
It was not
different.
good. Uh, yeah.
Okay, that's
Usually, I
okay.
go to bed late and wake up late.
Hmm,
Now it's different.
that's tough. All right, well, I won't put you on blast, as that's not what this show is all about. It's okay. Uh,
Thanks.
at least you'll be done soon. Um,
Hmm.
but given that this is the end of the semester soon, it's gonna be the end of our sophomore years. So for me,
End of an era.
end of an era, you could say. For me, it will be halfway, half of my college career finished. For you, it's more than that.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like 2 years
It's
have just gone by already. Just bam.
Yeah, I'm kind of wasting my life, it seems.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
I don't know. I mean, I just kind of sit around, eat candy, and watch Netflix all day, and then I don't really do anything.
That's okay.
I, my classes sit by, watch the world revolve on its axis around me.
That's not
I
necessarily a
guess
bad thing. That's not a waste. Well, it
it's
depends on,
pretty.
like, okay, do you have like lofty goals where the stuff that you're doing right now would then be like considered a waste because you're not working towards your goals?
Yeah, I mean, like, could be the first man on Mars. I could be
Yeah.
the president. I could. You know that guy Alan Turing. He was in our field.
Hmm.
I could be like him.
Are you gay?
Um, no, not quite. Okay, so I can't
Okay,
really tick
that's
all the
not a
boxes.
prerequisite.
Alonzo Church, I could be like him.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
got
forgot
a
who he is.
similar sounding name.
Oh wait, I do know who he is. The church something hypothesis.
the church touring.
Nice one. Okay. Yeah,
I could be like him, you know. I could
sure.
make big moves. I could be like Bill Gates, you know.
Yeah. Promote
He also
vaccines,
studied, yeah.
divorce people.
I could cure polio in the whole
Is
what's
that
the
Bill
third world?
Gates?
Yeah, the Melinda and Bill Gates and Melinda's Maiden Name Foundation.
That's a good one. I was gonna say your first example being astronaut. Isn't there like a height restriction for astronauts?
Is
Where
there
you,
really?
I don't actually know, but I don't think astronauts are tall, are they?
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a restriction. You have to like be able to fit in the cockpit or whatever, right?
That's true. That's why like I think for Air Force pilots, right? There's like a height restriction or
Is
something.
there? Oh
That's why
shit.
I thought
Wait,
like
when I was little, I would fly that little Microsoft Simulator X,
the flight
the flight
simulator.
simulator game they had, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, I want to be a pilot when I grow up. And my mom was like, no, because you'll die in a plane crash.
Wow,
And
that's
I'd be
really
very sad.
cynical.
So then I did CS instead.
Thanks,
I'll
mom.
buy,
She
I'll
literally just
buy
shot down your dreams like an AA gun, like really early
yeah.
on. It's pretty bad.
I'm gonna die of back pain from bad posture and carpal tunnel instead.
Yeah, at least your posture's better than mine. My posture is pretty horrid. I don't even
Yeah.
really work to try and correct it that much, so probably gonna kick my behind when I grow up later.
I probably couldn't be an astronaut either, because of my glasses. My eyes are like
Yeah, that was the other
terrible.
restriction I was gonna say for Air Force pilots. I know for sure like you need good eyesight or something. You need to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
I know
20/20
that.
vision or some shit, which
Something
means
like that.
my dreams of being an Air Force pilot would have been killed
Dash,
very
nipped in
early
the butt.
on. Very unfortunate. Um, Both of my parents don't have the best of eyesight, so when you combine those two with the what's that square called? The Putnam square? No, the
The
biology thing.
yeah, Punnett Square.
Punnett square, Putnam square. The when you have the Punnett square, I'm just not going to have good eyesight gene.
Yeah.
So unfortunate on that.
Yeah, my parents don't have the greatest eyesight either. I mean, they can live. I mean, my dad wears glasses most of the time now, but it used to be that neither of them wore glasses ever. Um, and little old me had negative 6.5 both eyes.
Damn. Is your
Yeah, and
brother
my
any better?
brother, he's 20/20.
What?
Yeah,
So your parents are probably what is it? The hetero. They had like one of each,
heterozygous.
one dominant, one recessive, and you got the
Yeah,
bad end.
sad. Oh
Sad.
well. My brother is just me, but better. Really,
No.
I think he's taller too.
Really? How tall is he now?
I don't know. I think he's taller than I was when I was his age. I don't remember though. I think so though.
Is he
I
cracked
don't know
four
exactly.
foot?
Has he? He's like
Oh,
12, dude.
okay. Has he cracked 5 foot?
Yeah, yeah. No, he's way past that now. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, so for 12, I'm trying to think. 12, that's like sixth grade, fifth grade.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'm going in seventh now.
How tall are the? I'm trying to think back in middle school how tall people were. I don't think I remember 6 footers, so
Um,
he's not quite there yet, right?
no, no, I don't think so.
Okay,
I mean, there
maybe
was someone. I remember back in my grade, there was someone that was pushing 6 foot.
is it you?
No, no.
Okay.
Um, I'm not that tall.
Were there people even like? Well, of course there were people even taller than you, but how many? Like at each stage of
Um,
your life?
like it was infrequent enough that I like made a note that this person is taller than me, and
Hmm.
that would be like you have some things that you just like associate with people to like remember them,
Mhm.
you know. especially if they're just like barely acquainted with you.
Yeah.
Um, and that was like the thing. I like tacked that onto their file, in the little file cabinet of my mind, taller than me. Um,
Was this
yeah,
even still prevalent in high school when there was like a lot more people, like 1,000
I still
plus?
I still do it now. um, if I know somebody taller than me, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I associate that slightly to your not personality, your character. Not character, your file. As if you're if you're actually like a your portfolio, your file.
Yeah, I don't really think about it that much though. Being tall, I feel like I don't know. I guess people don't really think about their height that much.
Have you ever visited like South America? You have, right?
Yeah, I have.
Are Latinos, are they shorter than like the average American? The average Latino?
Mm, I don't know. Yeah, probably. I think so. I mean,
Okay. Did your
I don't
height
remember.
seem to like stick out more, do you think, when you like visited Latin
So
America?
when I went to South America, okay, so I've been to South America once in my life. Okay, counting all of Latin America, like twice in my life. Okay, not true. I've been to Mexico. Mexico doesn't count though because I
Why
was
doesn't it
always on
count?
like a yeah, I was always like in a resort or whatever, and
Okay.
so it was kind of secluded away. I went to the capital of Yucatan once though, so I guess that was a real city. Um, I don't really notice the heights of people if they're shorter than me. I only notice if they're taller is the thing.
Hmm.
So I don't really know. I don't notice if everyone's shorter than usual.
Do people ever comment about your height as like the first thing they do
Yeah,
when they
all
meet?
the time. All the time. Do you play basketball? um, yeah, I mean, I'll just be like at a gas station or whatever, checking out, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're tall." uh, yeah, does your head ever hit things? Something. They'll say something about my height. Yeah,
Really, even like at such a random place like a gas station, like
yeah, like
strangers
total
will say that?
strangers. I
Wow.
mean, if I'm interacting with them, maybe
Okay.
like the cashier, they'll say
Mm.
like, "Hey."
Okay. I was thinking because when I went back to Taiwan to visit family, they often would comment on, well, actually they would comment on like how tall I've grown, which I think is common for like all kinds of relatives slash grandmas, like that's
Yeah,
I think like a common trope. They're like, "Oh, look at how much you've grown."
yeah,
But
yeah,
um I don't know, it's just something I noticed cuz I was taller than most people there. Like I think that is a statistic where the average height in Asian countries is shorter.
yeah. That's true. I think the only places where it's like significantly taller is like the Netherlands and the Balkans. Uh,
Scandinavia, the Vikings.
no, the Balkans.
Yeah, but does it not apply up there either? I thought they
Uh,
would be taller as well.
I guess Scandinavia too. They're also pretty tall. Yeah, that's true.
Hmm.
Yeah, basically like Europe. Those are the only places
Yeah.
that everywhere else it's average height is pretty short. I think uh Africa, if they like put their shit together, they can have a pretty high average height too
Mm,
because
yeah.
they tend to be pretty tall.
I mean, they have animals to imitate. Like they've got giraffes there, so
What?
that was just a random connection.
What?
That made no sense, but it's okay. That's how this podcast goes.
Yeah.
uh, we're going back to, oh yeah, so more than half of your college career, at least currently with the current plan, is gone.
Mm,
So you've gone through 4 semesters. Um, how would you rank, first of all, just this semester so far? Like, was it worse than
Okay,
others? What do you feel overall?
I can rank all of them, I guess.
Okay,
Probably. So I'll number them one, two, three, four. Yeah, sound
sure.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
So one was the best. Um, I'll say two was the second best. It's very directly correlated with COVID, right? This one was probably the third best, and then last semester was the worst.
Okay.
So one, two, four, three.
I'm curious, why do you think was two worse than one? Do you think because of the shift in the middle? Is that why?
Yeah. Also, 213.
Oh, did you not
um,
like? I thought you enjoyed the class.
it was interesting content. Interesting content, but the issue was that I never had free time ever, and I wanted to cry all the time.
Wow,
So,
that's tough.
no, that's not true. It was just a lot of work, and I didn't have fun doing work as usual.
Makes sense. And then why was? Do you think this semester was better than the previous semester? Is it because you're like in person?
Yeah, I also have more free time. I feel like last semester I didn't really do much. All my time was kind of revolved around 251.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if 213 was better. Okay, by the way, to our listeners, to our listener who already knows what these classes stand for, 213 is intra-system scores, um, intro to computer systems,
Yeah.
and you have to like code a lot in that class. And then 251 is a theory class, and you have to math a lot in that class. Uh, those are two things that I'm not very good at, so I did not have a great time in either of them. um, yeah.
Yeah. For 213, I just like finished taking it. They definitely made the class easier for these online semesters compared to how it normally is.
I don't
And
think that's true. I think you're just smarter than I was
no,
as a small
well,
brain
I will
freshman.
give you concrete facts for why it's easier.
All
They
right.
changed the structure of the course with how the grade distribution is set, where a whole 25% of the grade distribution this semester was with written assignments, where for each written assignment, it is 30 points, and you get 10 points for basically just submitting. You get 10 points for basically completing peer reviews. And then you get 10 points for the average of the peer reviews that other people give to you. So you can already see
We had the same
how,
thing.
really? Was it
Yeah, except there's
25%?
only no, it was 10%.
Okay.
Um, I think it's because we have a common faculty member. Um, yeah, Brian Railing kind of handles the systems courses a lot,
Mm.
so that's probably where that came from. If I had to take a hypothesis, Brian Railing, if you're listening to this, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait, what part? The written assignments and the peer grading, or what?
Yeah, the written assignment. I had the same exact format. 30 points, 10 points
Oh,
come from
okay.
peer reviews, 10 points come from completion, 10 points come from accuracy.
Well, from your own experience, do you think those were like free 10 points?
All of them are free 10 points, pretty much. Actually,
Yes.
one time somebody took a point off. Actually, wait. So what they did was had three peer reviewers per person,
Yeah.
and they took the max of the three.
Oh,
Uh,
really? They took the
yeah, yeah.
max for you? Okay.
So if only one person gave you full points, you got full points.
I'm pretty sure
um,
they did the average for us. So, or maybe they did do the
uh,
max because there was a couple that I'm very sure I did not get full points, and either they did the max or all of my peer graders were extraordinarily lenient and just gave me full points for everything, no matter what.
yeah, there was one where all of my peer reviewers did not give me full points, and I was very surprised. But that was once. And that's because I deserved it.
Okay. So, as you said yourself, those are like free 10 points. Well, for us, then that's free 25 points, which is a lot more already.
Yeah, but you also had to write the programs and stuff that
Yeah.
you had to do. It's the
Okay.
same thing. Those are hard, not easy. And you have
That's
to do them.
true. But that's like equal work, right?
Okay. And you have to do the written assignments. So actually, you had more work than we did.
You just said you had the written assignments too.
No, we had the written assignments in another one of my systems classes in
Oh,
parallel computer
oh.
architecture.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying for your 213. Okay.
Yeah, I should have made that clear. Actually, that was I had that. It was in my mind that you knew what I was talking about. But no, yeah, it makes sense. It was a
Okay.
different systems course.
Okay.
15.4.18. Yeah.
Right. So, well, but the written work is like very trivial, so it's very easy to get 25%. I don't even know why I'm arguing with this with you. I'm just trying to say, like, I think it was easier.
And I'm trying to say no. You're just smarter than me.
Nah, I think you can ask anybody else that took this class, any of the
I
other
don't think
friends that you
anybody's
know.
taken this class twice, so I don't think it's possible to do a true comparison.
You're impossible to argue with. Okay.
It's because I'm right.
Did you ever do speech and debate in high school?
No.
Did you ever want to do it?
Um, Sometimes I think it might have been useful because I'm like really bad at talking. So,
Really? I
um,
think you're pretty good.
hey, hey podcasters. No, I don't think so.
Exactly. Podcasters back me up here. I think Elan's
Yeah,
a good
podcaster.
podcaster
uh,
audience.
See, the one member of our audience will recall that a couple days ago we had to give an oral presentation on, on a certain project, and he can back me up on the fact that I'm not a great orator.
No,
I am not a Cicero of this world, right?
I think you undersell yourself. You could
Um,
probably like if I ask him, he's gonna say, "Yeah, this guy was he was good."
no,
I
I
in
don't.
that
You were not
exact tone of
in.
voice as well. Like, yeah, he's pretty good. Based, yep. Based presentation.
No, I don't think he thought it was a very good presentation. I mean, the first one at least. Second one went a little bit better. It still wasn't like tip
You had to
top
do
quality.
two
Yeah, the exact
presentations.
same presentation. I don't know. It's like I don't know why they did it actually.
Was it
There's
to the
probably a
same
reason.
person twice?
No, no. One was to a TA, one was to the
Oh,
professor.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, for the professor, was it like a two-on-one intimate experience?
Yeah.
Like you were
Uh,
just alone
yeah,
with
we went to his office hours like Zoom link, and
uh
then uh yeah, it was just us two and him.
wow.
It was kind of intimidating actually, not gonna lie.
Is he an intimidating professor?
Well, I mean, he's not. I mean, he's like kind of friendly, I guess. Yeah. He's pretty good, but yeah, it's just like any situation where you're like you have to present in front of a professor, and it's like you know a significant portion of your grade depends on it. You know how it is. You get your nerves kind of get to you.
I understand.
Yeah, yeah. It's not really the professor. That's. I think it's just the fact that he's a professor. That's the issue.
Hmm. Did you not have to practice presentation in your writing class that you took this semester?
We did actually, but um, we um, it was like a PowerPoint presentation that we had to do. So I just like put my whole script in the presentation notes, um, and I just had the presentation notes open while I was presenting, and so I could just read the script.
How would they not see it though? Like, didn't you have to like share your screen for
Yeah,
everybody
so you
to
sure
see?
that okay, PowerPoint is actually humongous brain. Like I didn't know you could do this, but there's two windows. There's the presentation
Oh.
window, and then there's the like the back end kind of behind the scenes window. And so
Mm.
you can share the presentation window on Zoom, and then you can like navigate it using the behind the scenes thing. Um,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
I
it's
didn't
actually
actually know that.
amazing. You can change slides from that screen. You can do like everything. You can control the whole presentation from there, and you get all your notes. So I was just reading from a script the whole time.
And why didn't you do the
Um,
same thing for the other presentation?
Because we didn't make a script because we cobbled together the presentation like an hour before we had to.
Sorry, Professor Railing, if you're listening to this. It's
Um,
okay. They tried their best.
yeah, Railing. Really sorry. We kind of it was rushed towards the end. You know how it is. We were bad at. I mean,
Does he know?
I'm not gonna throw my partner under the bus.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I'm sorry, Railing.
You want to say
It's my
anything to your partner right now? Clear the air. He's gonna be
I'm
listening
sorry,
to this, you
partner.
know.
Yeah, he
As
is
our
going to
solo
listen to this.
podcast audience member.
You know, at the end of the day, we ended up doing equal work on the project.
Okay.
So I think it was worth it.
Great job.
Sorry. Yeah.
We'll see what he has to say in the comments. He'll be sure to leave his based opinion.
His
Oh
based
god.
opinion, yeah.
He's influencing me. I'm picking up on his lingo now. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, I apologize if that laugh was very loud. I understand if you're keeping the volume at a nice medium level and that piercing burst
I don't
hurt
even
your
know what you're
ears.
talking about. I didn't notice a really loud
I just
laugh.
I noticed one time. One time I was listening back on the podcast. Maybe the volume was a bit too high, but I started laughing and I kind of like winced because it was too loud.
Mm.
Um,
I'll be sure to
but
like keep track of that. I don't really do a lot of audio balance, but
uh,
if it spikes, I'll just keep track of that. Something
all
to
right,
improve.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should have brought it up too.
Oh shit. Look at us being professional. We're just talking about it on the podcast episode. It's all good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
We've
you
all,
guys, it's we're bringing you along for the
exactly. We
process.
have an
Yeah.
opaque window.
If you recall from episode 2, I said this is an interactive experience. We are
Yes.
interacting with you now.
Wait, I
So
think what I said was wrong. We have a transparent window, not an opaque one. The transparent window, you can look inside, see exactly how this whole thing functions,
yeah, little Pan
and
Fiesta.
you can see how disjointed this whole thing is.
You can see the hamster running on the wheel. You know,
Yeah. Is that a
it's just
saying?
me. It's
The
just me and
hamster
Patrick.
running on the wheel?
No, I don't think so. I just think I just made it up.
Wow.
But you can get the picture on like in your head. You get what I'm saying, you know?
That's pretty creative.
Yeah, I mean, hamster in a wheel is like a cliche kind of thing for back end things. You know, it's not like it's not a huge stretch. I hope.
I thought, wait, what? Okay. I didn't quite understand how that like typically when you think of a hamster on a wheel, it's like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Was that what you were trying to say?
What I was saying it's like I was imagining like this big like power plant that produces like the entire city's like electricity or whatever, and it's like the whole city just like depends on this power plant. Um, and then like you just said, like we're installing this transparent window so you can see everything that goes on, and so you can like look inside this great powerful power plant and see like what goes on behind the scenes. And it's
Hmm.
just like a hamster running on a wheel, powering everything.
Oh, okay.
That's what I had in my head.
That analogy makes more sense. You talking about power plants reminded me of this multiple trips actually that I've gone to Bonneville Dam, which is a dam in Oregon on the Willamette, or is it the Columbia River? Columbia River. Have you ever gone to a dam?
I have seen dams before. I mean, never big dams, just like regular old dams.
I thought dams are big in general.
Um, I mean,
Are you saying like beaver
not
dams or
necessarily.
something? Like stick dams?
I have seen a beaver dam before.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty cool. Um, no, I mean like no, the dams are like everywhere, you know,
I
all
didn't
over the
know
place.
that. I didn't know
Uh,
like how prevalent they were in Texas.
no, they're not necessarily like the power plant dams.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're just like blocking of water. You know,
Oh.
typically there's like a roadway on top of it. It's like a bridge, but it's like a
Hmm.
dam.
Okay, I see.
It's not like the Hoover Dam or anything, you know.
You haven't gone to Hoover Dam then?
No, I don't think I've seen any big dams before
Hmm.
in person.
Yeah. I went to Bonneville Dam multiple times. It's like the dam that we have in Oregon that's on the Columbia River. And I went to the dam through field trips in elementary school, middle school, and high school. Like
Wow.
they're like different schools, but they all like we all had trips there for different reasons.
How
Um,
many kids made the joke about like the damn gift shop
yeah,
and the
everybody always does that. No, that's also a joke in when you said that, that was a
Percy Jackson?
yes. How do you know
Yeah.
that?
Mu- Um, I don't know how I remember this, but a friend told me this joke from Percy Jackson. They were like, "This is from Percy Jackson." I thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
that's like as soon as you say that, that's the connection I make because they make a
Uh-huh.
it's like a not really a running joke because it's only in like the chapter where they visit Hoover Dam, but he makes a joke about that and then they like laugh about it, like the characters in the book.
It's a pretty
So
funny joke.
yeah, you should probably read the book so then you understand, you know?
No, I get it now.
Yeah,
They went to a dam, and it kind of sounds like a bad word. So
it's like a it's like a month ago. What was it like a month ago when we first said Percy Jackson? You
yeah.
still haven't read it?
See, here I am wasting my life.
I'm slightly disappointed.
That was one of my lofty goals. Read
Was
Percy
it?
Jackson.
I don't think it was ever in your goal list.
Up there with be an astronaut, be president, and
Play in the NBA.
yeah, read
Yeah,
Percy Jackson.
read Percy Jackson. I think it's a more achievable goal than those other ones, but what can I
I don't know,
say?
bro.
It's possible. I even sent you a link to where you could read it, and you still haven't done it. It's earlier up in our chat.
Yeah, I have to like scroll up to find it. It's kind of hard.
I'm public shaming you right now. I'm trying to
Uh,
get you to read it.
I don't think it's much of a shame to
Okay.
not have read a children's novel.
Listeners of the podcast, leave a comment if you want Elan to read Percy Jackson, so then we can um, talk about it more in detail. What was I going on about? Oh, yeah, the dam. There's like different reasons for why I went there, but one of the reasons is there's a fish ladder on the dam.
Yeah.
It was
Hmm.
like because the dam it like blocks water, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like what are fishes about to do? Like just jump down? No.
yeah, yeah,
So they have like a fish ladder or something. It's basically
yeah,
like an alternate pathway where instead of just jumping off the waterfall, the fish can like go down a more gradual thing.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
they can go upstream as well and like jump.
Yeah, I watched. I don't know what it was. Sorry, but I learned about it in school. Fish
Yeah.
ladders and dams.
It was really cool because they had a it was like an aquarium where the water was on one side and there was glass, so you can actually see like one section of the fish ladder, and you could see like fish swimming by, going against the current, like trying to go up. And
Wow.
it was pretty cool. Visit dams. I guess that's the gist of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Damn
Okay,
good.
so let's see. One topic that I have here is that I want to talk about was I'm guessing from earlier discussions that you've never heard of a thing called the Serial podcast.
No.
Okay. So
I
this
thought I thought we were the first people to do podcasts. Wait, what?
wow, yeah, what? These
I
guys are
thought this was
copying us.
novel.
um, but we forgot to put the TM, the copyright, the trademark. So
To
everybody,
do a
it got out of
podcast now.
control now, and
Oh,
we lost control. We could have struck it rich, but now we're just poor students, so
yeah.
unfortunate.
Darn. We did podcasting before it was cool, though.
I don't want to commit to this anymore. That was a terrible joke. Okay, so
That was very
the
bad.
the,
So horrible.
the podcast, it's like this true crime podcast in a way. It talks about this story of this dude who's suspected of killing his girlfriend. The dude's called
Mm-hmm.
Anan Syed,
Mm.
and it talks about like the evidence of the case. It talks about why. It talks about the evidence that the like prosecutors had and the evidence that could exonerate him. And it was just like a in-depth. It wasn't super in-depth, but it was like a in-depth for a podcast analysis of like the case and stuff. And I think they even interviewed the dude who was in jail at that time.
So are we like giving them a shout out? Is that
No. I was gonna say I actually forgot why I put this as a podcast topic, but the reason I was introduced to this was actually through a class. They made us listen to it, and it was about the class was called Theory of Knowledge, and it's about like how you learn stuff, or actually that's how ambiguous the class was. I actually don't know what the purpose of the class is.
is it like an epistemology class?
I don't even know what that word means.
It's like the study of knowledge. It's
Okay,
like
yeah,
a
probably.
branch of philosophy.
Yeah, probably. I just know it was required for like my school program that I was like doing, so I had to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Did you learn about like philosophers?
no.
Okay, interesting.
Well, I can actually see what we did in our class. Um, I think one cool connection I was just thinking of with this class was that was actually where I did my first attempt at a podcast. We had the podcast
Mm.
assignment where we had to talk about something we learned about in class, like some knowledge thing or like ways of knowing or something like that. And we had to talk about it as a group with like 3 other people. So that's what we did. It was like 10
Well, I
minutes long
thought
and I
I was
listened
the
to it.
first.
Yeah, it turns out we had a handle on this whole podcast thing before the word podcast even existed, and
Wow.
we were just ahead of the curve, and unfortunately we never published it. So
It's out there in
yeah, why am
the
I
annals.
humoring you? This is a terrible this whole podcast thing.
So they're quite not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm gonna be honest. I missed the segue into this part, and I've been kind of rolling with it.
Uh-huh.
What was the intro to this? Like, what year were you taking this class? Why did
This was in senior year, and you can tell I have no idea why I put this on here because I forgot why this was interesting. But like
theory of knowledge?
it was
That
like
sounds kind of,
sorry, go ahead.
that sounds like a pretty interesting class, though.
I think it was
Um,
supposed to be, but I frankly forgot everything we learned in the class.
mm,
Um, I'm looking at what we had to write in this class. We had to do okay, so like the final assignment for this class is you were given a prompt and you had to answer it using talking about the things that you learned in the class. Okay. So here, I'm actually curious, how would you respond to this prompt? So the prompt that we were given for our year was one way to assure the health of a discipline is to nurture contrasting perspectives. Discuss this claim.
um, well, if you look to the Soviet Union, you will see that it no longer exists.
All right.
um, Now, if you look to the United States,
It does
uh,
exist.
you will
Still
see
existing.
that the Senate is split 50-50, and it also exists.
Therefore,
That
this claim is true. All right. Yeah. That's basically the
they
gist
rest
of
my
what I wrote.
case.
So, you know what? I think you
You
passed the
talked about the
class.
Soviet Union?
No, I didn't talk about it, but I just talked about. Um, okay, here's my opening sentence. Tell me if this is a good hook. All right, are you
Yeah,
intrigued
hooks.
as soon as you hear it? One way to assure the health of a discipline. Oh, okay. I just restated the question. Never mind. One way to assure the health of a discipline is to nurture contrasting perspectives. The
You
act
wrote this
of
in your senior year of high school?
the act of acknowledging and refuting an opposing perspective helps dissect and identify flaws within one's own argument. Okay, that's my first actual sentence.
Mm.
It's pretty garbage, gonna be
I
honest.
don't like the word one when it's used like that. I was
Well,
taught not to use
we
it.
had to be like, you weren't supposed to use like I.
It's a hack for replacing the I and the U.
Right?
I was taught to avoid it at all costs.
So you would
Um,
use I and you instead?
no, you would not have a sentence that's structured like that at all.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, just reading that out, the whole sentence sounded pretty awkward and not
Well,
good.
I don't know. I mean, that's like a stylistic thing. Honestly, I think it's all a load of BS. You can just write whatever you want as long as you get the message across, and people don't like die of boredom reading it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically, you just need to put the words in a way that's like parsable and nice.
Parsable. Okay.
You know,
Syntax parsing. Okay.
like just like have the important bits at the big top of the paragraph, and then explain it later on, and like that's basically all you really need, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then keep the sentences like short and to the point,
Is this what you learned in your writing class?
pretty much.
It sounds pretty familiar. Sounds like what I learned too. I don't know
Yeah,
how.
we've taken like 3 writing classes now, right? So
Well, I mean, do like some of them really count? Like, I don't
I
know.
think they count. I mean, they basically all taught the same thing, but I think they count. You know.
Okay, so if they all taught the same thing, then it's basically one writing class.
Okay, but you have to reinforce the knowledge. You have to
Okay.
upload the edges. You know,
I mean, some of the knowledge was pretty basic, but like
it's
how to read
pretty
a graph.
basic, if you
Okay.
ask me. Right? If you ask our listener, also, I think he'll agree.
Yeah,
They will
we need
agree.
a intervention on that. We can't keep saying that. That's bad. It's,
Yeah.
it's very. It's literally using that word now is the opposite of the word's meaning. It's cringe. Yeah, I think
Uh,
to me.
I thought you were talking about referring to our audience in singular terms,
So that
not
too.
plural case.
The whole time. We're gonna look back at this when we have 2 audience members and we're gonna be like, we were so uninclusive, only talking about our
Yeah,
one single audience member.
true.
I welcome everybody who listens, alright? It might not
Hmm.
we might only have one current regular listener, but you never know who pops in every now and again, listens to an episode.
Exactly. We need to have a growth mindset.
Yes, that's exactly
That's
what we need.
that's the
And
kind of thing that gets you to Mars. You know,
it's the kind of thing that gets you to be an astronaut and an Air Force pilot.
and president,
Actually, maybe not the growth mindset because you need to stop growing at some point. But
and a reader of Percy Jackson.
and
Most important of
yes,
all.
most important of all. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, that I don't know why I brought up Anand Syed, but I think it was because
Yeah.
recently in the news, his case because of the podcast. First of all, they made like the podcast was really popular, so they made like a show about it as well, like a Netflix show.
More popular than ours, though. Let's be real here. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got 2 people instead of one, so
Mm,
they were
mm, mm.
100% more popular than ours
Is that what it takes to get a series
on Netflix.
to do?
All right, here's our pitch. Just listen to episode 1 or listen to this episode to see how it all flows. But yeah, they made like a show and I think I saw a news story recently where his case, like, he like appealed because there was like a lot of traction for people saying like, oh, he's not guilty. He should appeal this stuff. Because apparently there was a his lawyer at the time didn't wasn't very good or something, and didn't like even talk to like some witness that could have helped him or something. So they were trying to appeal on that, and I think it got shut down. So rip, he's dude's gonna probably be stuck in prison now forever.
Oh well. I mean,
I mean, yeah, maybe he did do
do you
it, so then
know?
that would be good.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
think.
That's the thing, right? You don't know actually know if he did do it or if he didn't do it. So that's the exactly the kind of stuff the podcast calls into question. And
Well, I mean, they do say innocent until proven guilty, right?
then
So I guess
he
we
was
do know. Yeah, he
proven,
was proven guilty.
yeah, in the eyes of the law. Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a better topic. Recently we're coming back to the wonders of the YouTube recommendation system. I remember we talked about that earlier in the episode, and it's blessed me once again. Instead of Julia Galef this time, um,
Hmm.
who unfortunately has not been uploading a lot of videos, so I haven't been able to listen to her. What was the thing that she promoted?
Rationalism.
Bayesian thinking and rationalization, right?
Yeah.
She was a
The
big Bayesian.
rationalism, not rational. The rationalization is I think it's. I don't know if that's a commonly used word in that case, but
Rationalism.
ration, rationalism is
Okay.
what you were looking for.
I think it was Bayesian thinking. That was what, because she has like 3 different videos on that. Um, and yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't. She hasn't been uploading, so I had to look for other avenues of content. And YouTube recommendations recommended me this channel called Yeah Russia. Um,
Yeah, Russia.
yeah, Russia. And it's this girl in uh, the far east of Russia, Khabarovsk, uh,
Khabarovsk.
Khabarovsk, slash Spask Dalny, and she makes videos about her life in Russia. And um, I introduced her to you. Did you watch any more videos besides like that one video about her dorm that I showed
No,
you? Okay.
I've been busy.
Yeah. Have you?
um. Yeah. So apparently she doesn't. There's something about smiling,
Okay. Yeah.
according to this
So
document.
there was this video that she did. She went to the United States as part of this program called like the Year Program. It was
Not
like
very
an
far away from where
exchange
she is.
student. Well, okay, Minnesota is kind of far away. It's like not that close.
I think it's actually closer to Minnesota, like her place, Khabarovsk,
Then to
so than
Moscow.
it yeah than it is to Moscow. Yeah.
Wait, that actually might be great. That might be true. That's actually kind of crazy if you think about it. Like if you think
No,
about, I was just thinking about that with USA also. What if you live in like one of the Aleutian Islands in Alaska and you go to like Florida? That's like a
pretty
while.
far.
Or actually, a better example would be Hawaii to Florida, or Hawaii to Maine, because Hawaii is, I think, further out
Yeah.
to the west. Um, Either way, she was talking about her experience where she did like a semester or a year at the
It was a year.
University of Minnesota. It was a year. How do you know if you didn't watch the video?
I read the description.
Okay. um, yeah, she did that thing, and she was talking about some of the things that she noticed as a difference in culture between the two countries. And one thing that she said was that Americans smiled a lot more and were like more friendly in like everyday interactions, as in like they would stop to have small talk and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And this American smile thing, I wasn't very. I hadn't heard about it a lot. I think I've heard about it before, but um, I didn't know if that was actually like a true thing or if it's just like some patriots trying to promote our country.
Uh-huh.
But apparently it's like a thing because when Joe Biden was talking about the mask mandate being lifted, he was like, one of the things he said was, and now, okay, I was trying to do a Joe Biden voice, but I can't. He said like, and now Americans can get back to that famous what Americans are known for, smiling at each other or something like that. Um, so apparently this is like a actual thing associated with Americans. Did you
Is
ever
it?
like hear about this or know about this?
No, I mean I know that there's a stereotype that Americans are like extremely friendly, uh, and it kind of I don't like talking to people very much. But I feel like there's like a need for me to fill the stereotype. I'm dying. Fuck.
COVID's got him. Novichok.
I have returned. Um, yeah, so there's like a need for me to like fill in this stereotype that has been imposed upon me, and so I'll make small talk with strangers. I'll say hi, how's it going? I like your shirt. Smile at them.
I mean, but
Um,
do you only feel? Wouldn't that need to fulfill the stereotype only be if you're interacting with a foreigner? Because like, do
you
other
never know
Americans
when you're
really care?
interacting with a foreigner,
Okay,
and
sure.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like nice. I think that people are friendly. It's it's kind of. I mean, it's a bit disingenuous, you
How
know.
so? What? Just being friendly?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not your friend.
Well, I don't think friendly means like they have to be your friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're like putting on a facade, which is kind of I don't
Okay.
know. But I mean, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I don't really know. I haven't thought
Yeah.
about it too much.
I saw some
Maybe.
comments in the video, where there's one person who's like Italian, and he or she said that like um, they were used to in Italy just if somebody like dropped something or I don't know, like dropped the grocery bag and some stuff like flew all over the place, like there would be people that just walk right by and like don't care
Oh, really?
um,
Right, and
and
they
not
like hug
help.
each other and stuff, right? And they like do the kissy thing and
Right. Oh, I remember why one too. So that kind of stuff. Did you? What did you feel, or what did you think of like interacting with strangers when you visited Europe, like Germany or like other places as well?
I don't know. They just seem like people.
Okay.
Um,
Do you think they were any more polite or any less polite?
oh, there was no, there was this one lady at a museum in Spain uh, who insisted that we speak French with her. I don't know why.
What?
That,
What?
this is a bit not related to the topic, but you unlocked this memory in my mind.
Uh huh.
And so we were like, "Do you speak English?" And she was like, she like started speaking to us in French.
Was this in France?
No, this is in Spain.
Oh, in Spain. What?
Uh, yeah, it made no sense. She was kind of rude to us too. Um, that was a bit of an anomaly.
Was she a
The
like a museum worker?
No, this was like at the entrance to get in. You had to
Oh,
like
okay.
buy a ticket or whatever, and she was
Yeah.
the ticket lady.
Oh,
Um,
what the
so
fuck?
I don't know. It was a very odd interaction. Um,
So how did you resolve that?
I don't know. It worked out in the end. Things work out. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she gave us the ticket. People can communicate. There's like the universal language of being human. Um, I don't know. I mean, most of the people I interacted with were like tour guides and the service workers.
Okay,
And it's like the same interaction as here.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And I don't talk unless I really feel the need to. Anyway. I feel like people are like superimposing their own. I think that like that there feels a need to be a difference between these cultures that are not very different. I think if you like went to Japan or something, it would be much more different than it is between here and Europe or whatever.
Okay, probably. I think that makes sense. That's because like America already has like a lot of European roots, as in
Yeah.
the first immigrants, the European immigrants that came over. So that makes sense. Um, how about maybe not just the politeness part? Did you ever notice like the smile, where people were like not smiling?
Mm, no, I mean, I
It's
don't
kind
really
of
notice people smile here
in
that much
America.
either.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna just actually say because I don't really notice that either. Well, it's hard to
I
notice
mean,
that in this past year.
yeah,
So,
it's been a year of masks. Can you believe that?
mhm.
I haven't seen the face of stranger. That's not even true. People walk outside without masks all the time. I
Yeah,
don't
wait.
see
I was
them
gonna say
smiling.
that's not true in Texas, right? Like there was never a mask man, or there was,
I'm
but it
not
was like
in.
short-lived, wasn't it?
I'm not in Texas. Also, the mask mandate was not that short-lived. It was only lifted like a couple months ago.
Uh,
Um,
but wasn't it implemented pretty late as well in Texas?
like July, I think. So it was
Oh,
there for like a while.
did people really obey it?
Inside, they did. Yeah,
Okay.
at least where I went. Outside, honestly, anything really goes, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Um, yeah.
From that video of the like just the way she described um doing the exchange program, and also for some reason there's been like a trend on YouTube recommendations for some reason where there's been videos of people vlogging their experiences going to schools in different countries, and they've been recommended to me for some reason. And this was before I even watched this video, so I don't know what prompted that. Like I was seeing videos of people going to the who went to the Singapore and who went to like universities in China, um, and I don't know, just like the whole experience. Uh, I feel like it would be kind of cool to. I am more open to doing like a study abroad semester now than I was before, though probably still won't happen because my schedule's a bit packed. Um,
Well, I mean, you could take the same classes over there, right?
I don't know about that. Like, if they have the same, that's the concern. I don't think they have like the same classes that would fulfill the same
You
requirements.
you could go to Qatar. They have
But
the
I
same
don't want to
classes
go to
there.
Qatar. So, see, I looked at the universities that CMU actually has um, like connections with. Um, so the ones that I was interested in was either Hong Kong or Chile. I thought those would be actually pretty interesting.
Okay. In Santiago?
Yeah, it was in Santiago. Um,
Interesting. Why is that Chile?
I don't know, just because motorcycling through the Amazons. And also, I think because the other ones were not. If I want to do like a study abroad, I don't want to go to another place that already is just English and it's not like a super different culture. So actually, like some of the options were like Australia, and I don't think that would be like
On
personally,
the opposite end of the world, though, you know?
yeah, but I think one part of the study abroad experience that I would want to do is like being immersed in a different language and a radically like different culture. And I don't think Australian culture is as different from USA culture as Chile culture is from like the United States.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you ever
Probably.
consider study abroad?
No. I mean, maybe guitar, because we have a friend that lives there.
Well, he doesn't live there anymore.
He like basically does. You know, I mean, like if we went to study abroad, it would be with him also.
What
But that's
guarantees like
gonna.
he would go also?
Well, no, I mean, like if I were
Oh,
to do study
okay.
abroad, it would be contingent upon him also doing it, and then
Mm.
us all going there.
So you wouldn't do it about any of the other places?
No,
Like,
maybe. I mean, our major
okay,
is kind of
let me
not.
just describe some of the ones that you could do. Oh, for okay, so for they're like departmental exchange programs. I saw for SES, like there was only one, which is France. And
Is it the
Ensimag.
École? Oh no, really? Oh, I see.
Ensimag. Um, is that the
It is the
university name
École
or the program?
Polytechnique or whatever, right? I
Uh,
don't know.
yeah, I think
That's
that
the only university I've ever heard of in France.
University Grenoble Alpes. I think that's the
Uh,
university.
I don't know. I don't think so. Grenoble, huh?
It's all in France, French, so I can't understand what this site is actually saying. But
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Do they actually speak English in the university?
probably not. Oh yeah, so that's why, like because in the university exchange program, there's like Japan and
Uh-huh.
like
That's for like intensive study though of the language.
yeah. So I was like, at least I know, at least I have at least. I'm saying at least a lot. At least I have been exposed to Spanish, and I have a pretty good colloquial grasp of Chinese. So that's why Chile and Hong Kong were more.
I
Um,
could not take classes in Spanish. No way. Or I mean,
that's true. I think that would be
I could also not
very
take classes
tough.
in Chinese.
Yeah, that would be real. I doubt I could either. But maybe you'd struggle through like the first month, and then it'd get better.
No,
Like,
bro. You have to like learn technical words. You know, can you imagine relearning math in Spanish? You
uh,
know, like what is vertex cover in Spanish?
cover de vertice. Okay, I don't know. Like I mean I feel like Spanish like with how a lot of vocabulary words are similar, like it wouldn't be that bad with like technical words. I think you could piece together what with vocabulary what things mean pretty quickly. It'd just be harder for you to
Maybe.
actually understand and internalize stuff, I think.
Yeah, it really hindered my knowledge, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Our major is like terrible for study abroad justification, I think. If we
What
were more of
majors are like good? Are like just language studies?
um, yeah, I guess language studies. I mean, you know, if there's like any liberal arts, probably there's something you could do.
Mm.
Um, like architecture, you know, go to Italy. My mom went to Italy. She studied architecture.
Or study
Um,
abroad? Or she just went
yeah,
there as a
no, she went there for a summer study, summer semester.
wow.
Um, yeah. Then there's I don't know, the arts. You know, to the places where there's like lots of art, like
Hmm.
Italy, France, and then I don't know. I mean, you know how it is.
I
There's like
don't know how it
things.
is.
Me neither. I was hoping you would know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of see it with like the departmental exchange programs with like SES. There's only one program in another university. While for like Heinz College, I'm seeing there's one in Australia, Austria, Mexico, Germany, three in Germany, two in Italy, another one in Netherlands. School of Design, Netherlands, France,
hmm
Italy, New Zealand, South Korea, Hong Kong. Hong Kong Polytechnic University. I know that university for a different
Yeah,
reason.
same.
Yeah.
For our listeners that don't know the reason, there was
It's
in the
okay.
protests.
They can be
What?
kept in. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
There was protests in Hong Kong. I think everybody in the world knows that.
Yeah.
And this Polytechnic University was a significant, I guess you can call it a battleground of the protests. That's what we were referring to. And we both recently watched the documentary. Now you know.
Now you know.
So shit.
What, Hong Kong?
No, the whole podcast.
It's okay. We're gonna say it so many times. Actually, we've said that every episode, I think. You could probably go back and listen to every episode, and there's like a part where we're shit talking our what we're
Yeah.
doing right now. That's okay. The people, if you're self-critical, then you are
What's the opposite of a growth mindset?
uh tank mindset,
Is that what the opposite of growth is? What is the
like
opposite of
tanking.
growth? Tanking, yeah. That's not what I would say. Like if a plant, have you watched that movie? Where the guy like goes backwards in age.
Yeah, Curious Life
Um,
of Benjamin Button.
yeah, Benjamin Button. Yeah. What would you call his progression?
Tanking. Age tanking.
Yeah,
I would say youngering, getting younger. Like that would be how you would say it, I
getting
guess.
younger. Hmm.
Immaturing.
I guess you can call it a shrink mindset.
Oh, that's a good word. Yeah, I think so. That's probably the
But
best
it's also
description.
really no. It's not really what you because you're not. We're not going backwards, right? We're just kind of stagnating, like a stagnant mindset.
Um, what, calling our podcast shit?
Yeah, it's actually called a fixed mindset. It's closer to stagnant. That's the in the literature. That's what they say.
All right.
Fixed mindset.
So we
Um,
have to change that, change from a fixed mindset to a growth one.
growth mindset. That's what we
Okay.
have to do. Yeah. In the comments,
I blame
leave a
you.
comment. What me?
As in, you're the one who brings up that it's a shit podcast each time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm only outlining where we have to go. Okay, we can
Okay,
only go from here.
where do we have to go? How should we improve?
So, you know how Elon Musk wants to go to Mars?
Okay.
We could apply to the astronaut program and then become astronauts, go to Mars, and do a podcast from there.
Hmm.
We could even read Percy Jackson there.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of steps in between the final destination and where we are currently. So, you would say that's the long-term plan. What's the short-term plan?
No, that's just the first step, I think.
Oh
The next step is
shit.
Alpha Centauri.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the short-term plan. The long-term plan is past the stars. Is that past the
Mm.
stars or is that in the stars? Alpha Centauri.
And it's Alpha Centauri is a star.
Okay, it is in the stars then, because it
Yeah.
is a star.
What is past the stars?
Um,
I thought the stars were everything.
the edge of the world.
Is that where the big ice sheet is?
Is that a reference that I don't understand? The big
That's
ice
what
sheet?
the flat earthers are like. At the edge of the world is a big like ice glacier
The who?
blocking off the flat earthers. People
Oh,
that believe that the earth is flat.
okay, but that's the Earth. Do they believe that of the universe too? There's the ice sheet.
Uh, I don't think they believe what we believe about the universe.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's kind of like a prerequisite. I forgot about that. Maybe we should get a flat earther on the podcast. Maybe that would be a good short-term plan, you know?
Yeah.
That would boost engagement. We get the flat
Hmm.
earth audience as well, you know?
Yeah.
And then maybe some of them would stick around. Wait, do we want
Maybe.
them in our audience? I don't know if that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe not.
any publicity is good publicity, as they say, right? So
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it worked out for Donald Trump, I guess. Or maybe it didn't. Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Worked out for him one
The
time.
first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can learn from that. We would get the uh, flat Earth
Community.
Congress. Is that the right word? Congress. The
Are you talking about like an authoritative board?
No, I was trying to say like a body of people. The flat
A
Earth.
community?
There was like a better word that I was trying to, a more fancy word, but yeah, community suffices. We would get the flat Earth community, and then we would drop them. We would just we'd have that
Start
one
talking about
episode, and then
the
we
round Earth.
yes,
They title it "The
we
Earth is
get
Round" in all
yes
caps.
the episode where we get a flat earther, and then the next one astrophysicist
Uh-huh.
or astronomer, somebody who's in like direct contradiction. That's how you grow your podcast, everybody. Just saying.
Yeah. If
Great.
you ever wanted tips,
Yeah, don't
there
listen
you
to
go.
us, but it's okay. We give out advice for free, and you can take it or leave it. Speaking of take it or leave it, that's a terrible segue because it has nothing to do with what I was about to say. But
Mm-hmm.
there was a discussion that I saw on Reddit about this article that says 2/3 of British men would rather die than cut meat out of their life.
I don't think that's true. I think that's just
Oh, that's
some
not true.
Reddit.
That's yo. I misread the headline. 2/3 of British men would rather die 10 years early than give up meat. That's more
Okay.
reasonable than just straight die. I could believe that.
Yeah.
So,
I
what are
mean,
your?
I could believe that. I can believe that they would say that. I don't think that I believe that they actually prefer that.
I mean,
Dying 10 years early, the shaving out. That's like 1/7, like maybe 1/8 of your life
I don't know.
gone.
Yeah, but those 10 years could be hell. Like those last 10 years, you could have cancer. You could have dementia, and you're just sitting in a room, or maybe you're president of the United States. Either one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look at Mr. Biden. You think
Yeah.
he's at a low point in his life right now?
And yeah, suffering from dementia, and he's still going strong. So,
Oh my gosh.
did you not
Okay.
get that joke when I said it? You could be
Huh?
president. That's what I was trying to
Um,
refer to when I was like, you could be sitting alone, or you could be president.
oh, I thought you were. That was like a in contrast.
No, I was saying like as a joke, because
Okay, well, that's kind of a terrible joke. All right, I'm sorry. That- that's
I think it's funny.
I don't think
Um,
so. I think it's been beaten to death uh, that Joe Biden is old and has dementia.
yeah. Have you seen some of those clips of him?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're pretty funny and slightly worrying, but
don't
um,
worry. He's, there's checks and balances.
it's not exactly the best thing that you want to hear about that, but
uh,
yeah, that's all we can tell ourselves. Um, Back to meat. Would you okay, you wouldn't die 10 years early, but what would you like? Would you willingly give up meat, and what would you have to like?
if there's like the lab grown thing or whatever, if it actually tastes good and it's cheap, I mean, sure, I'd give up meat for that. That's the same thing, right?
Okay, but that's like a
Just
meat
less fat.
substitute. Like, what if you just give up meat tasting stuff in general? Like, just become a full vegetarian?
Why would I do that though?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, usually the reasons people have are like animal cruelty, which is solved by the lab grown meat,
Hmm.
um, or it's like really bad for the environment to like rear a cow just for its meat, which is also solved, I think, by the lab grown meat. And that's about it. I mean, I guess there's like religious reasons too. That's just, I think it's also solved by the lab grown meat.
Lab. Wait, that's actually interesting. I don't know. Wait, actually, I think I do. I think like I have a Hindu friend who I think doesn't eat beef, but I think I should ask him if he eats like beef substitutes. That actually
Mm.
works for him in accordance to what he believes. Um, so that's just like the main factor right now that the alternatives, the substitutes, don't taste good.
Uh, no, I mean, I'm not saying they don't taste good. I'm just saying meat tastes good, and it tastes different than the substitutes. So if I want meat, I will eat meat because I want the taste of meat.
Mm.
But the substitute, I mean, they don't taste bad. I've had the Impossible Burger, and the veggie patties and whatever. I mean, they're pretty good, you know.
What
They're
is
not.
the Impossible Burger?
It's like they make it out of something. I don't
What
remember.
company?
Is it? I think it's called Impossible. Um,
Oh, Impossible Foods. Okay. I thought it
yeah,
was like something else. Never mind.
but yeah, it's not like lab grown or anything. It's just like plant based stuff.
So what's the
Which I mean,
difference?
it's
Like
pretty
the
hard.
lab grown versus plant based? Like
It just tastes different.
okay.
I mean, you can barely tell the difference, I guess. That it's not
Between the
meat.
two and meat or just between the two itself? Like plant
Between
based and laboratory.
Oh, I've never had lab grown meat. That's
Oh,
like
okay.
that's not accessible to most people, I don't think. Um, but the Impossible Burger, I mean, you can just walk into a Burger King and they'll have it. So
What does it mean to be lab grown meat? Like is it you grow the animal in the lab or is it like you
I think that's how it works, right? You just like the same.
how is that any different then? Because you're still growing an animal and then you're gonna kill the animal.
No, no, you don't grow no, no, no. You grow like the cells of the thing. It's
Oh,
not. It's never alive. It's just like the meat.
wait, but it has cells, so wouldn't that like make it alive? I think I'm
Um,
never
I
mind.
don't. I mean, that's an ethical question. I think. um, I don't think it's alive. It needs to. I don't know, bro. There's some like boxes you need to tick in order to be counted as alive. It's like how viruses are not really alive or whatever.
Well, that's because they like have to live off something else, right? They have to
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean,
be
it could be the
connected
same
to
thing.
something else. So
Like
like,
I don't actually know how the process works for meat. It could be the same. Like we need to intervene to grow it.
hmm,
So I don't know how it works.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if that thing takes off, no more cows farting up methane. Might be a good thing.
How much is that actually a contributor to global warming, the methane thing? Is it like cows farting? Because I never really understood that connection.
Um, I don't actually know either. I mean, that's just what people say, right?
So you just parrot what they say?
Well, no, I mean, it's just like a common trope or whatever that people say. So,
Okay. So how would like not like I don't see how cows contribute to global warming. I understand
um,
like the cruelty one, but I don't understand that one as much.
well, I mean, cows are also like extremely inefficient. Like, you need to, well, the amount of corn and wheat or whatever that goes into feeding the cow, um, is like way more than the actual amount of food that the cow produces. Um, so, like, as a means of making food. It's very inefficient. Which I mean, I'm sure. I mean, there's definitely an environmental impact to farming. That's for sure. Um, So that could be a thing also.
Okay.
I don't know. Then you have like the slaughterhouses and the trucks that have to transport the cows and the this and the that. But I mean, you also have to transport the lab-grown meat. I don't know. I don't know how it'd be. I'm not a climate scientist.
Okay. So the main thing is, I guess you would just I think I would probably agree with you in that I haven't eaten a veggie burger in a while, or like a plant-based substitute for meat. I forgot what they actually taste like. I seem to recall the times that I did eat it, it wasn't that much different from meat. It wasn't super different from meat. I think I could tell a difference, but I still enjoy meat. I like meat. I have relatives that are vegetarian, and that's the thing that I like feel bad for kids who are grown up vegetarian. Like they never ever had meat.
Feel bad for them?
Yeah, I feel like they're not experiencing that. I feel like you should at least try it out and then decide if you want to be vegetarian or vegan.
I don't know.
Like I'm saying, if you're grown
Um,
up, you're brought up a certain way and you never get to try something else. Maybe they can do that when they grow up.
I mean, they never get to try. That's a bad analogy. Sorry.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say like cigarette smoking or
Shit.
something. That's not quite the same thing.
I mean, if they want to, they should try it also.
No, I don't think they should.
I think
That
they're free
sounds
to do whatever they want.
okay, Mr. Libertarian.
Great.
So, did you hear that COVID patients are getting ED? Possibly.
You have the worst transitions. But yeah. This is like related to that one other topic. It was like,
Okay, I think that's a shit topic anyway. You want to talk about this music thing? What did you have to say about this?
do you know? We can't. You can't just. Okay. The topic that we were gonna discuss was that COVID-19 could contribute to erectile dysfunction, but I guess we're not interested in that, so we're not gonna talk about that. Do you know who the piano guys are, or Lindsey
Yeah, yeah,
Sterling?
yeah. I've heard of
Uh,
both of these people. All of these people.
yeah. I don't know why the piano guys are called the piano guys, cause it's a piano and a cello,
Yeah, I
right?
don't know.
And I feel like the cello is it's like what you said before with the cello. Like
Hmm.
when it's with the piano, that's like the main melody, and the piano is the accompaniment.
Yeah.
So it should be like the cello guy plus piano. Um, do you
Okay.
ever listen to him? You said you did, but
Yeah, I've listened to them. Yeah.
okay. Is there any songs that you remember from them or like liked?
Mm, I remember them being pretty good. Yeah, he's a cellist is a pretty good cellist. Pianist is a pretty good pianist.
Uh-huh.
So they're quality musicians, I think. Make good music. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, great. That's all I had, so
Hmm.
we're fucked. Nice. Um,
I mean, do you like them too? Sorry.
you're terrible. Yes, I
So,
did
Patrick,
like.
what is your opinion on the this is a really high energy podcast? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your opinion on the Piano Guys?
I liked some of their songs. I like the, in particular, the one where they did the Bach one. It was like
Yeah,
the, you know, that common Bach cello thing
yeah,
was,
I've heard.
but he had like,
I'm familiar with the thing. Yeah,
yeah, but they had like 10 of them, like
yeah,
10
I watched
cellos
that
playing
too.
at the same
That's
time.
pretty good. Yeah.
That one was pretty good. I also like
Mm-hmm.
the one where they did the Bourne theme, the
Mm-hmm.
movie Bourne, and they did the theme. That was a pretty good one as well. And they did like a few Star Wars ones too, like Duel of the Fates, I think,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and those are pretty good too. So high quality overall. Good job.
Lindsay Sterling.
Are they Australian? I don't know.
Lindsay Sterling. No
Oh,
way.
Lindsay Sterling. Well, I forgot what actually introduced me to her. This was like really early on in YouTube. Um, I used to be like subscribed to her, and then I don't know. I just unsubscribed to like all kind of music channels in general, because I don't know why I'm subscribed to that kind of stuff. Um, she had good music before, but I can't actually remember even what. Um, I recently looked at her channel, and she's still making music. She had one for League of Legends, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
she does all pop music. She doesn't do. She's not like the piano guys. It's like a different genre, sort of.
yeah, I mean, I thought piano guys do like pop music stuff too.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing a Frozen thing also, but they like mix it up. You know,
That's true.
I think she's like pure pop.
I mean, I feel like piano guys are pretty pop too. Like, I'm looking at the first few things that they did. Selena Gomez, "Lose You to Love Me" is their fourth
No, I
upload.
remember when they did like the Frozen theme. Oh, maybe they say in the video title too.
Okay.
Um, they like mixed it up with Vivaldi's Winter. And it was like I think that was pretty cool. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, I
Um,
think they do mashups. Like, I'm looking right now, they have something like this slash Hungarian Rhapsody number two plus
yeah,
Line Rider. Wow, they're having three different things in one thing.
yeah.
Great video. Um, no, that got me thinking. Like Lindsay Stirring and Piano Guys, those were like two channels that I knew about from like early on when I discovered YouTube.
Mhm.
Are there any old channels that you used to watch a lot, but now you like don't?
I used
Um,
to watch a bit of the Yogscast
oh,
a long time
Yogscast,
ago.
like the gaming one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
What did
played
they?
Minecraft. Back
What
when
did you
they played
watch them
Minecraft.
for? Oh, Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah. I don't know, I thought they were pretty funny. I don't think so anymore. No, they're still alright, I guess. I've never actually, I haven't seen a single one of their videos in a very long time.
What did you? What was their Minecraft series about?
Um, so they had like multiple series that kind of led one into another. Um, the original, the thing that they got like famous for, I wasn't around for. I didn't know they existed then. But they had this thing called the Shadow of Israfel, and it was like a narrative story that they told. It was like they were like telling the story by playing the game. Um, and so that was interesting. And then like partway through the story, they just like they made an episode and then they stopped, and they never made an episode ever again of that. Um, and then they did some like tech it stuff. Um, Modded Minecraft. They made like a cookie factory, and then they did a thing where they like went to the moon. Yeah, I don't know. Um, and then I forgot what the one after that was. Um, but they did some space shit and they like blew shit up, and it was cool, I guess. Um, and then I stopped watching.
I wish on YouTube you could see like all your subscriptions, all the channels you're subscribed to, and how long you've been subscribed to them, or like sort it by the date that you subscribe to them. 'Cause I want to
Mm,
see actually what's the oldest one that I'm still subscribed to currently. Um,
yeah, I don't think they keep track of that.
YouTube feature request. Submit that in.
I mean, they can't. It's like retroactive, right?
What do you mean? Wouldn't that be easy? You just have like an attribute. It's like when you first subscribe. and then you just
Okay,
record
but
that with your
how did they
subscription.
go back in time
Okay, yeah, I'm not
10
saying like
years?
right now. I'm saying they should implement it as a new feature, like
Okay,
starting from now.
so they
I
can't do
wouldn't.
it retroactively.
Yeah, I guess, which is unfortunate, but I think it would still be cool. Actually, I mean, if they really want the effort, they probably like keep track of your whole profile, like from the time you created your account to now, and like an attribute. If we're thinking about this like as a program, right? You have your class, and one of your attributes is like some kind of array list with subscriptions in it, or maybe it's a dictionary, maybe it's a table. I'm trying to
That's what
think.
a
Maybe it's
dictionary
a
is.
leftist heap, yeah. Um,
It's definitely not a leftist heap, I could tell you
yeah, it's probably a
that.
centrist heap instead. But
Hmm.
these are bad jokes.
God damn. Damn, what? It's not even that late. Maybe it
Uh,
only works when it's super late.
um, they have all of these like okay, array lists maybe, right? Actually, dictionary is probably better, or table.
Oh my, yeah.
Okay, enough of this CS stuff. They keep track of your thing, and they could probably see like over time like how it changed, and then from those changes you can see like when you subscribe if you really want to do it retroactively. Just
Yeah.
saying, I feel like that's one thing you could do.
Yeah.
I'm refuting your claim that it's impossible or not
No, I didn't
possible.
say it's impossible.
All right, okay,
I said
okay.
it's retroactive. You can't. It's not possible to add this feature and then all of a sudden see that I apply. I applied. I subscribed to the piano guys 15 years ago. That's not possible. You can't. You don't know that. You don't have time travel.
Well, I was saying that maybe it is possible through like a combination of looking at your subscription history, which I think they probably keep track of.
You subscribe to what when?
Like, yeah, I think
I
they
don't think so. That's too much information to keep. That's like a lot of data. I don't know. I guess they do keep a lot of data.
they already like keep a lot of data. Like, I don't know how much more that would be. I
Yeah, it's true.
feel like it's possible. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, old YouTube channels. I remember one of the first few channels I subscribed to were all gaming focused on the games that I played back then, which was Battlefield, Bad Company 2. I subscribed to this channel. Wait, is it a dead channel now? Let me just see. It's called Next Gen Tactics. And yeah, this channel is dead. Last upload was 2 years ago. Well, that's kind of sad.
Rip.
Um, but they were like a big channel back then, and they did stuff with Bad Company 2, and
No
no way. And I
way.
subscribed to them for that, and then from there, I watched their COD Zombies videos, and then like got introduced to other stuff, and then that's just like how that's kind of like how YouTube just works. You watch like one channel, you watch content of theirs, and then maybe you see some other content that you're interested in, and then they do it with other people, and you're like, oh, they have a channel too. It's like that or YouTube recommendations. So,
Hmm.
um, Level Cap Gaming, that was like a Battlefield 3 channel that is still active now, but he does like different stuff, and I'm not subscribed anymore, but um, I remember Filthy Frank. Do you know who Filthy Frank is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how
Was.
early on, but I remember already back in like seventh grade, which is when around like I started making YouTube videos as well. One of my friends had already introduced me to him because he was like, haha, check out this funny, edgy video or music video. And it was about pink guy raps and makes ramen. And
Oh
then
yeah.
pink guy raps and make fried rice. And then it was Dick pays rent. That one's still pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You know what that one is?
I know. I mean, I'm familiar with what pink eye is,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think most of the things were pretty funny.
Yeah. No, recent I saw something on Twitter about Filthy Frank because now he's like Joji, right?
Yeah.
And there's this person who on TikTok was like, if you ever thought Filthy Frank stuff was funny, you're low key racist or something.
Mm,
And I'm like,
I guess I'm low-key racist.
yeah, I think a lot of people are then because I thought that was very funny. A lot of his
Did you know
stuff.
that the most learned Duolingo language in Sweden is Swedish?
Is there supposed to be a connection with what we were just talking about?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that was pretty cool though.
Thank you for your input, Elan.
I just spread that. Yeah.
Where did you read that?
Instagram.
All right. This is what this show has evolved into. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to rant about because I've basically gone through my entire
Oh wait, there was something.
worldview.
Okay. What the fuck? You were telling me before. So right now they like lifted the mask mandate, right?
Hmm.
Have you seen like, are there people actually not wearing masks now, walking around Pittsburgh?
I mean, outside people like never wear masks. I mean, sometimes like it's like a 50-50 chance if you
Okay.
find somebody outside. And that's the way it's always been. Like it's just if you're outside, people don't really wear masks. Um, inside, like everywhere, still requires that you wear a mask. So it's basically the same thing.
Didn't you say you saw some dude that like didn't have a mask and he was coughing?
Oh, on the bus?
Oh, that was on the
Yeah, I mean, it's still
bus.
required. It's still required on the bus. He was just breaking the rule. I don't know. Bus driver didn't tell him to.
Probably couldn't be asked. Like
Yeah. What's the vaccination rate at now? Oh, they're gonna open it up to kids too, right?
they have already for like 12 to 15 year
Oh yeah.
olds. So
That's gonna give it a little boost to the.
yeah.
I think we're gonna hit 70%.
Do you think? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Um, when?
The interest is declining though.
Maybe in 2 years. See, there's the joke. Haha. Classic misdirection.
Yeah.
uh,
Anyways, thanks for listening.
uh,
You catch us next time if we upload this one.
you know what? Let's just go through all the topics so we have
Do you
nothing
want to?
left.
All right.
Okay, so
No, nothing left for next time.
corporal punishment. There's this video that I saw. It's actually pretty heinous. It was like this this principal is just like spanking this child, and the vice principal or some school administrator is just like making sure she's bending over. It's pretty fucking crazy. Um, yeah. Was did like
This is not in the U.S., right?
no? This is in like Georgia or some shit. Like in
This is not illegal, is it?
apparently it is still legal by schools in some southern states. Um, so wait, full context of the story. The um the child had like I don't know broken or scratched like a computer screen or something,
No, they
and
paddled them for it.
they paddled him for it. Yeah, and they like brought the parent in. The parent was literally recording, I think, and just watching her child get beaten up, and she couldn't really do anything because like part of the story is she is like a immigrant, so her English
Uh-huh.
was not very good, or maybe she didn't even speak English. Uh, that's
So she
probably
just
not
let it
true.
happen instead
Like
of intervening.
I mean, she probably didn't know what to say to like stop it from happening if she doesn't know
You
how
would
to
just be
speak
like,
English.
no, 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 no. I mean, that's a pretty universal word, I think,
That's true.
in
Or, but I don't
European
know. There's
languages.
like two people there and they're doing their thing, like spanking the child. So
Yeah, but it's your child.
that's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to judge her for what she did. Okay, maybe if that was my child, yeah, I'd be pretty mad and I probably would try and intervene. But I don't want to like assume anything of the parent, not knowing like the full circumstance, right?
Mhm.
So, um, well, that was like the main story. The main thing that I was curious about is the part where the mother doesn't like speak English, or like not very well. I was thinking like if you want to immigrate to a country, shouldn't it be like a prerequisite that you speak that language country? That was my initial thought. But then when I was thinking
Are
about
you
it,
talking about the U.S.? Like, wait, the
I
U.S.
was
does not have a
thinking,
language.
I know. So this was like initial thoughts, right? And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I think there's plenty of people that like immigrate to other countries where the company, I don't know, still speaks in English or something, but they move to that country to work in that location. It doesn't mean that they have to know particularly that country's um, language to move there. Um,
Well, you
and
don't have to be immigrant. You don't have to be like a citizen, right?
right, so that's like a distinction, right? If you want to become a citizen, do you think you should know, like, it should be a requirement?
Um,
Like, if somebody wanted to be a citizen of the United States, should they, like, have to pass? I know the US doesn't have an official language, but de facto, it is English. So, like, should they have to, like, pass some English test to be able to become a citizen?
I don't know, bro. If you can be a productive member of society and not speak the language, then I guess not. If you can't, then maybe you should. I don't know if you should or not. It's not really something I have an opinion on.
Okay. I'd seen this in, like, a Europe subreddit where they had this kind of poll. They asked, like, a number of questions to citizens of like different European countries about what kinds of things should people that want to be citizens of their country be able to do, and like some of them were like speak the language or know the history or understand the culture or like some other questions, right? And very
Mhm.
commonly, like more than the majority for like basically every country said you should know the language to become a citizen of
Yeah, I mean,
that
if you
country.
okay, so if you are of the opinion that in order to become a productive member of society, you have to know the language that everyone speaks, which I mean, I guess is kind of a natural assumption. Then yeah, sure, I guess, but that kind of goes against the like American values or whatever a little bit because
What are the American values?
I don't know, like the very first thing that is like in the Bill of Rights is the freedom of speech. Which you kind of discriminate against that if you like you can't be a citizen unless you speak English. But I don't know, that's kind of a stretch, and like the law isn't really applied evenly that well. Um, so I don't know, bro. What do you think? Do you think you should learn English in order to immigrate to the U.S. as a citizen?
Yeah, I think so. Um,
Mm.
like, I think so, but what I'm hazy on is like the level of English. Like, you probably don't have to be fluent or even that good, as long as you can like communicate, right? Um, like if you know enough, because I'm assuming citizenship tests. Actually, maybe they have them in different languages.
I think they do have them in different languages.
Okay, that kind of defeats the point. I was gonna say, okay, if you can do a citizenship test in English, then I think you're fine. Like, you don't have to have a super good understanding of English, but if you're able to understand like questions like that and answer it, I think you have like more than enough good understanding of English at that point. Does that sound fair, or what do you think?
I guess. I mean, like, okay, think about it. Let's say you came here, all right, and um, I don't know, you like opened a taco stand or something, right? Like a taco shop. I don't know. You don't speak any English. You just like make tacos. You sell them. Yeah. And you do that for a while. You make some money, pay your taxes. You like buy or like you rent out a nicer, bigger place. You like grow your business. You live your life. You do that for like 20 years, and you don't actually learn any English. Okay, you just make the tacos, and it works out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you deserve to be a citizen? Right? You lived here. You've contributed to the economy, society. You fed the people for 20 years, and you
Okay.
don't know how to speak English.
Well, yeah, you're like contributing to the economy, right? But I feel like that's all you're doing. You're not engaging with the country particularly. Like being a citizen is like being involved with the country.
So, are you not a part of the country? I mean, like you. I mean, surely you formed some opinions about Mister whoever's up there in the chain of command. You're a business owner, okay? So you have some incentive in how the taxes are handled. I mean, levied and um, like I'm sure you have some social opinions too. It's like you can. There's definitely things that you can engage in where you live. Right, hey, you're there. You've lived your life for 20 years in this place. To say that you aren't a member of the community is kind of,
I also think
I
if
mean,
you've lived there for 20 years and you have a taco shop and customers are coming in, are these all these customers going to be non-English speaking as well and like don't speak
well, I don't
English to
know.
you?
I mean, maybe your like kid can be a translator, or you hire a
Right.
translator or something. I don't know.
Like I don't have a counter
And so
argument
they should
exactly
be
to what you're saying.
denied citizenship because they don't speak the language, despite having.
Yeah, like I even with that description because I feel like what you're saying is contingent on being a citizen is contributing to the country like I don't know through your
Okay,
economics.
then what is it? What does it mean to be a? Okay, it doesn't have to be economic though. I mean, that was just an example. I think because the economy is like everything, right? Anyway, um, like that was just an example. You were still you've lived here for 20 years. Okay, you've been. I mean, surely, possibly, you should have a say in the way things are run. Do you disagree?
Well,
Do you say that person does not deserve representation in the place he lives and has lived for more than half of his life?
hmm. I just find it hard that if you've lived there for 20 years, like,
Okay, just say people don't learn English. It's possible, Like if you have your kid translate everything for you, you don't learn it. And all the media you consume is in whatever Zimbabwean. And then what do you do? Zimbabwean is not a language, I don't think.
uh, okay, so I guess my definition of a citizen is someone who can, like, someone who can contribute. Okay, maybe it is similar to what you said, where it's they can contribute to like the greater good of the country. What the part that I'm like stuck on is the examples you gave are good
They were
and they're like
contrived. I mean, I had to come up with something, some situation where you wouldn't speak the language, obviously.
yeah, and
But
what I was thinking in general with this definition is most things that you do to contribute to a country is like if you're not speaking English, you're not like engaged with the general culture. I feel like of the home
okay, so
country.
you're saying that you should assimilate into the culture.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like that's like a requirement to be a citizen, right?
Okay.
If you're a citizen, you're like a member of this country's community, right? So you should assimilate into it. You should adopt the country's values.
Really? Okay. So the Judeo-Christian values that are the foundation of this country. So everyone should convert to Christianity too.
Except that's not like there's like no official religion or
Oh, there's no official language either, though, right?
uh,
So
yeah, that's true. But it's very difficult to um I guess if you fully engage with other Americans that are non-English speaking. But then, see, I never thought about this, so I don't
do
have
they
a good
not say that
argument.
diversity is our strength?
Is
Or
restraining
haven't diversity is our strength?
is our strength?
They also do say that diversity is restraining, I guess. Some people do say that. But that's not what I said just now.
Okay, what about
uh,
diversity is our strength?
um, well, you're saying that they should forsake their. Uh,
Well, it's not forsake. You can still keep it, but you should also think and believe in
they should think
the
and act like an American as defined by what I think an American is. And that
or
is like
not
a
what I
different.
think in the like what the
That is what you're saying, though. That's what you think an American is. An American is someone who speaks English, has these values. You need to check these boxes to become a citizen.
okay, yeah. Because
Okay,
that's what I think, yeah.
so um, then I guess if that's what an American is, then that's what it should be.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
just my opinion on it. Like I feel like it's important, though I don't know how much, though. I don't know.
but how is the language of value, though? I don't see. I don't follow that train of thought. You should
Because it's
align with the values of the country, and the language is one of them. Why is that?
because it's very difficult to um interact and assimilate and build these connections with other members of the country without knowing the predominant language.
Should he be allowed to live there?
To live there, yeah. I'm saying like as a citizen. Like of course you can
So you
immigrate
should
and
not.
stuff.
Okay, but then there's the issue of representation in government. So you're saying that they should not have any representation in government, even though they've lived here for so long.
Um Well, because if they don't know the language and they don't know how government is run, which is all in English, like,
Well, no, that's not true. Be okay. Maybe the language spoken in the Congress is English. Um, but if you look at any government form, any like you can get it in other languages. Okay, it's possible. Like I mean, it's mostly in Spanish because that's like the vast majority of people who don't speak English in this country speak Spanish. But like it's not impossible. I mean, you could have studied the American comparative government in like school. Like it's not implausible that you don't know how the government works.
okay.
Like you can, yeah. I mean, you can vote in a different language too. It's like that's a thing. Um, no, I don't buy that you won't know how the government works because you don't speak the language that the government is running. Like I can conceivably know how the French government works without speaking French.
Right. Okay. I don't
And anyway,
I
you don't
wasn't
actually
meaning to
know.
say something. I wasn't meaning like that kind of meaning. Um, Let me clarify what I was trying to say. Trying to think.
And if you're trying to make the point that you won't understand the positions of the people who you're trying to vote for
Yeah, I know
because
you
all of
could
their
still
positions
get
are English,
translations and stuff.
have Joe Biden had a Spanish YouTube channel. All of his campaign stuff was translated into Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the issue, of course, of I mean, I don't know if it's an issue, but it's something to consider. large pockets of the population, like little communities being formed, like Chinatown or something, or like Little Mexico or something, where they form their own identity and don't assimilate. What some countries are doing about this, like Denmark. I remember I read an article a little while ago. Is they're like putting caps on the percentage of a neighborhood that can be um, like non-European,
Hmm. Wait,
and
so like those kinds of communities can't form?
exactly that's what they're doing it for.
Hmm.
It's to promote assimilationism. Um,
Okay.
it sounds
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
I feel like
fair.
it's because like Denmark, I think the unique state of the United States is that it's such a melting pot in that it's also very young, so there isn't like an established culture or like there is kind of like a culture, but it's not as established as like I don't know European countries who have been around for like hundreds of years
Hundreds. Well,
more than I mean some of them are newer, I guess, but I don't know, like the UK, not the UK. That's recent, but like
it's not recent. It's just a continuation, bro. That way,
okay,
that
yeah,
country,
that's what
like
I meant, like
that
a
state has
continuation.
existed.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
like
I meant. Like
no, that state has existed for like 1,000 years.
right. So I think with those, they have more of a they believe an obligation to kind of protect their what they've been doing before,
They have
and
an obligation.
like they
That's
don't
interesting.
want it to be lost, right? And if they feel, at least this is what I think, if you have like these pockets of people, um, then there's like a chance that citizens are now not adhering to kind of how it was, what citizens were like in the states before. And I
So
don't think that's a problem in the United States because we didn't really have it before as much because it's only been around for like 200 years.
yeah, but the people in there come from societies that have been around for many, right? They came with values that are very old,
Yeah.
like their religion, for example,
Uh huh.
and their language also is extremely old.
Right.
uh, so it's not like it's a young culture. It's a mix of very old cultures, and plus like McDonald's.
I don't think that's a culture.
Oh yeah, the cuisine. That's definitely part of culture, bro.
Well, I don't think that's a very old culture. It's like,
Yeah, that's why I said it's a mix of old cultures plus McDonald's.
oh, okay. Um, I forgot what I'm supposed to be. Is it the Denmark one or the? I mean, for the Denmark one, it seems weird from my perspective, but I can kind of think like if I was a native Denmark person whose ancestors have all lived in this area for a long time, then I would like be in support of such a policy.
Okay, so you can understand why people would feel that way.
Yeah.
Should people feel that way? That's what the question is.
I think I think well, yeah, I think they can if they want and I don't think
Why can they if they want to? Because they live there and they're the majority of the population, and so if they
yeah,
want that, okay.
I feel like
Well,
it's
white
as
people
simple
were the
as that.
majority of the population at some point, and they made it basically illegal to be black. Was that the right choice? Most of people say no, that was not.
Which one? South Africa? What were you saying?
The United States of
Oh,
America.
United States. Okay.
Um, there's I mean, it's a very, very common worry of representative government, right? The tyrannical rule of the majority. This is like this is like the primary issue with democratic society.
So
You can have a majority that makes something that's very much not in the interest of a minority and is also inhumane and ethically wrong and morally wrong. Just because the majority feel that way, you can understand why they might feel that way. It doesn't mean that it's right.
yeah, it might not be right, but then it would be up
Because
to other like outside forces or the
what do you mean outside
opinion.
forces?
Okay, so like it would either be what I was saying for outside forces is if like Denmark decide to do that, right? Then other countries in the EU that or just around the world that feel like that's not good because it's not, then they would like I don't know, put international pressure on that, and then hopefully that would change. And the other way I would think is there would
No,
be
no, we're not
like,
saying that what the natural course would be, though, right? We're saying what should the
well, okay, yeah,
we've
but
outlined the problem, right? Like
okay, so
people
what should happen? I still think like the even though something really bad could happen, like with the majority, how would you assess something is bad? Because that's like subjective to everyone.
exactly. So that's what I'm asking you.
So I don't
What do
think
you
you
think is
I
good or
don't
bad?
I don't think you can like properly say that. So I would
No, no,
still
I'm asking you your opinion.
on
Do
which
you
one?
think that
The Denmark
um,
one? Is
okay,
it
yeah,
good or bad?
I guess that's what we were talking about before. So
Okay.
Denmark is a good thing. Is it good or bad? You said earlier
Okay,
that it was good.
from my perspective, I
Mm-hmm.
think it would be bad as a American, but I don't think like
No, I
we have
mean
to
more
change it.
generally, as should a society, right? Some, I guess you can say, ethnically homogeneous society uh, that is currently experiencing an influx of immigrants from a pretty drastically different culture, force assimilation in this way, or is it in their interest to force assimilation?
Uh so
And
I
that
think
ties it back to the language question also.
yeah,
Would they
so
be?
I think this is like dependent on kind of your own country's history, which is why I would say for like a as a Denmark person, I would maybe say yes. And then for an American, I would say assimilation ish probably shouldn't be forced, but like which probably
So
contradicts
why
what I
is
was
it
saying
more
about the
in the interest
language.
of Denmark? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Because
you. Continue.
like the reason why I think it's more in the favor of Denmark is because it's like a nation state in that it's more like the people there are already more homogenized and they have like a history of doing things and like an established with the majority. And I feel like this is a lot less of the case in the United States.
Okay, so sure, it's a different situation. Maybe requires a different solution. Um, all right, now why is it that um, it's I think it's very off topic. I think return to the language issue in the U.S. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so in the U.S., we have a long established culture for many hundreds of years, dating back to the 17th century.
Many hundreds. It's like 200. But yeah.
17th century was like
Oh, 17th
400 years ago.
century. Well, then that's not the United States anymore, is it?
Same community, right?
Is it? Like, are you saying
Continuation
the
of
people living in the area that we now say the United
okay.
States?
The people living in the United States have so okay. So governments are like a sham, right? Like they just come and go. It doesn't really mean anything. Okay. Like the
Okay.
French, like they changed government like 7 times in the last 200 years. Okay. We always called it France. All right.
Okay.
China changed government like a bajillion times.
Yeah.
We always called it China. Okay. It's like doesn't mean anything. Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just because the United States of America as a country has only existed for 200 years doesn't mean that like this has been a thing for 200 years. All right.
Okay.
So in its roots, right, we have English for the past like 400, right? It doesn't even matter. Okay, 200 is a long time. Okay, that's enough for several generations to pass.
Okay.
English has been long established. This is a homogenous culture in terms of English, right? Vast majority of the people in the country speak English. That
Yeah.
is how business is conducted. That's how government is conducted. That's how information is disseminated. All right. So basically, we are a Denmark of English, right? Everyone speaks English. So you're saying that the same
Okay.
thing applies to us, right?
At that point, yeah. Oh, well, I think like the change is in how America markets itself. Like when we established ourselves as a country, um,
Right.
where
No, but this is more than a PR stunt, right? This is how a society should be run, right? What is the best way to run a society? That's what we're saying, right? Do you think that it is in the society's best interest? Forget land of the free, home of the brave, Bill of Rights, this and that. Is it in the society's best interest to force um, immigrants to speak the
speak the
same
same
language?
language? Um, okay, wait. When you say force, does it mean like
In
what
order
is
to, in exchange for like granting rights, I guess.
in exchange for granting rights?
I think that's what citizenship is, anyway, right? Just
Yeah. Like I'm still inclined to say yes
okay. So you
because
should not be equal under the law if you do not speak English, is what you're saying. Then also,
at face value, yeah, I think so.
okay, I disagree.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think people should be denied rights for
Okay.
just because they speak a different language. That doesn't make sense. They should not. They should be able to have a say in how their lives are handled by the government.
Okay. Why don't you like explain it from your perspective then?
Okay, I mean it's very simple. I mean basically what I just said. You have your taco stand for 20 years. All right, you've lived in the U.S. You wave your little American flag, woohoo. Um, and then I don't know. Say you're like very conservative, right? And then you like hate Joe Biden, okay? Because you want to like you don't want to pay taxes, all right, on your little taco stand, okay? You can't vote for Mr. Trump, Mr. Trongus, um, because you don't have the right to vote. And why don't you have the right to vote? Because you don't speak English. So despite the fact that you have economic interest in the U.S. And the fact that you've been a part of the community for like an extremely long time, um, you shouldn't have the same rights as me, who sits on my ass all day and doesn't do anything but consume. Who's actually been here in this country for less time. Right? I've only been here for 19 years
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and contributed nothing. Actually, less than nothing. I have only consumed and not done anything.
Mm.
Yeah, you're saying that I deserve more rights than Pedro down the street that runs Las Palmas or something.
Okay. Uh, that's convincing.
I didn't really have an opinion until just now. By the way, this is I like made this up.
I mean, I think what you said, the way you framed it, it makes sense. I don't have the good arguments for just the feeling that I have. And because what you said makes sense and it's not fair with like the
Mhm.
example you gave. So
I agree. Maybe you should know how the government works, but you don't need to speak English to know how the government works. Maybe you should know a little bit of the history of the country also. Also, don't need to speak the language to do that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any good arguments, so
Nice.
I'm
And now,
actually
after the
I'm
neighborhood
curious like
thing,
what arguments people actually do have who actually thought about like why.
yeah.
uh
Well, I mean, they lost, right? These languagists, U.S. So
well
it's not really.
in the United States. Well, actually
Yeah, I mean,
in
other
like I guess
countries,
all over the country. I don't know how other countries operate.
but they have official languages. That's I
Okay,
think you do
but
have to pass.
with countries with official languages, do you have to countries with official learn
I
the
think you do probably have to pass a language proficiency test. That sounds like a thing you should do. Mm, I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, you're right. It's hard to contribute to society also if you like are completely orthogonal to their country, their culture and values or whatever.
that's what I was
So
thinking, like trying to say in words because your example makes sense, but it seems so outlandish that you have.
no, I think it's totally possible to run a taco stand without speaking English. I think that's like
Yeah, but I think it's like it's the exception. Like,
no, I honestly don't think so. I think there's a lot of taco stands out there where the owners don't speak English. I think that's extremely possible. I mean, like maybe they know how to say like chicken and like beef and the food stuff, right? Um, I think that's extremely possible. I mean, well, not just like the taco stand. I think that's a very common thing. I don't know. I mean, seasonal workers, maybe not, since they like migrate back. Um,
I'm looking online. Most countries, wait, not for immigration, usually for naturalization. Canada and the USA come to mind immediately. The US has an English proficiency requirement for most people who naturalize.
oh, really?
Canada requires you be able to speak English or French as a condition for acquiring citizenship. I mean, it says for
Interesting.
most people, so maybe your situation could still occur. But I'm thinking like, hmm,
No, I think when it says most people, this is completely a guess. But if you're like Ronaldo or whatever, okay, well, that's a bad example because I think he speaks English. But
if you're like a
if you're like some like
special person
yeah, yeah,
who
if you're
really
like a
contributes.
billionaire, then you get like a fast pass to citizenship. Um, yeah, that's
Wait,
I think that's what the most is.
they have a chart and United States is not on it. What? Oh, US, English language. Okay, maybe the English does. There is a language requirements for common citizens without marrying local citizen. Seems like US does have an English language requirement.
Mm. Yeah, I guess if you're married to that also like a mail order bride kind of thing.
So I guess like that is if that's the system that is in the US right now, then
So the languages have one.
yeah, and you think that's unfair then? Because like according to your because like the example you gave, that makes
I mean, the
sense.
example is also extremely contrived. I mean, maybe that's actually not the
I
case.
mean that's kind of like what I was trying to say in words because it could happen, right? And maybe you were saying
Hmm.
like it could well maybe a lot of people are like that, but the general idea is like it's way harder to do all of these things where you were giving examples there are avenues like through translation you can understand all these things you can still contribute and understand all the values and like I don't know like do all of that stuff but it's a lot harder if you don't know the language that
Yeah,
everybody
that's a good point.
does.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, it's a pretty ill formed opinion. I think. I just kind of came up with it. I was mostly doing it to counter what you were saying, so that we could have like an interesting conversation.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Um,
I'm really bad at debate, so I didn't have really any
yeah, I'm
points.
also pretty bad. Most of the things I said, I think, kind of had a lot of holes in them. See, I'm really bad at using words too, bro. I just make up for it by saying more words.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm
um,
even worse in that I couldn't find the right words to.
I mean, I didn't say that my words were right. You know, I found some words to say. It's easy to find some words, but politicians do too. It's the next step to becoming president astronaut.
As a aside, there's actually this dude who is a doctor, an
I saw that.
astronaut, and was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
And
and he like went to Harvard too, right?
yeah, what the dude's crazy. Like he's done. I mean, what else is crazy
He's
hard?
like one life.
He also has to be a pro athlete at some point in his life, and then
hmm
um join the NBA something. Oh, and
You
then
know what I
become a
just realized?
politician, and then that's the last step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he's
Um,
completed all the things, steps to life.
the what's her name? Gabby Giffords. You know the
Yes,
congresswoman
the
that got
one that got
shot.
shot in Arizona.
Yeah,
Her
her husband
husband
is an
is an
astronaut.
astronaut. I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark Kelly.
politician too.
Mark
Yeah,
Kelly.
yeah. It's his name, Mark Kelly. Yeah, yeah. He won her like congressional seat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice ending to the story.
Oh, he was a U.S. Navy captain too.
Oh, there you go. Hey, he has all the things. They should combine their powers.
Well, Navy
um,
captain, it doesn't have quite the cultural appeal as Navy SEAL.
true,
Um,
true.
so he's close, not quite there. Plus, he
Yeah,
doesn't have doctor, and that's pretty
yeah. That's why I
intense.
said they should combine their powers. You know, and they get everything.
I mean, but
This
he's
politician.
just like a subset. He only had I guess he
No, the
has
politician.
senator. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
Is it senator? I thought it was.
It says he's a senator right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Congratulations to him. Okay. Um.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's not really funny. It's actually pretty terrible. Okay, wait. Before we diverge too much from the topic of language, I just wanted to bring up that everybody in the Avatar universe speaks English. That was really good because they like travel across the whole world, right? And everybody speaks the same language. Everyone in the world speaks English.
Well, yeah.
Um,
I bet if you like have it trans dubbed though in a different language, like
Everyone would speak like
that
German or
language,
whatever.
yeah. So
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if the world was like that? That'd be we wouldn't have to
learn
have this conversation.
Esperanto now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Time for Esperanto.
You know there's native speakers of
I
Esperanto?
know you brought it up last time. Like,
Oh, did I?
yeah.
Fuck. Okay, I was gonna say something also after that, but I forgot what it was. So good.
Esperanto, German, Avatar.
Oh, there was something I don't remember what it was. It was actually something really cool. Oh well, too late now.
Okay. Um, this,
Yeah. Thanks for
yeah.
watching, guys. Uh, I
Thanks
don't know
for
if this is gonna
watching,
go up.
guys.
I guess it probably will since we talked for a long time.
I think like the last part was if I cut out all the blank space. How
The
much do you
shit
think that
parts.
was? Like 10 minutes of silence? 5 minutes?
Um,
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think it was that long.
Well, I mean, it probably added up. Like
Could
this
have been.
topic itself was like 30, 40 minutes, so
Oh shit.
could have added up. I don't know.
Yeah, no, no.
Either way, guys, this is a plea for help. Please, we need another guest because that's the only time this show is good. So, if you want to get on here, let us know,
Yeah.
and we'll get you on. But as for that, episode 8, we're gonna come back to this, and like I'm gonna come back to this. I don't know if you're gonna ever listen to these again, but
We can cringe hard, I think.
especially with these episodes where we're like, oh yeah, this is so shit.
Yeah, maybe we
um,
shouldn't be so negative, honestly. Oh, you know, I remember this one time I went to the Grand Canyon with my family,
uh huh.
and so they were like taking a video or whatever. They were taking like a lot of videos, and I just got kind of annoyed. And so one of the videos, I'm like, oh, this again. And there, it was just a video, and everybody else was like super happy. I go back and I cringe, bro.
Yeah, wait, so when you watch the video, you're like,
I'm
why
like
would...
pissed off, like in a bad mood. I was being like a cringy little 12-year-old.
That's the sentiment I was trying to convey, in that we shouldn't be doing that with the
Yeah,
podcast.
I agree. You're right. You're
Um,
totally right. Yeah, this is a good. I think we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Not with this episode, but you know what?
Teacher me, if you're watching this, know that I understand your struggle.
Mm.
All right.
It's a special
Now,
time with COVID. You know, it's affected us all, as we say, as professors like to say. Actually, I don't know if
yeah,
professors really say it.
we're
I
all
was gonna...
down on our luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Um. Next episode will be better. Better days ahead. That's
Yeah.
like a
It'll.
clothing brand, I think. Better days ahead.
That's
Let me just
good.
double
Do they
check that.
donate to charity?
Affordable streetwear, yeah. I don't think they do, but
Hmm.
better days are ahead for this podcast. So stay tuned. I'm actually gonna. We should really get a guest again. But
I
yeah.
can bring back Gus.
If worse comes to worse, the base
Yeah.
guest will return. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
And
Yeah. See you next
see you.
time.
Adios.
Wait. Hit the button.
Yes.
All
Subscribe
the buttons.
button, like
All
button, our channel on YouTube. If you just type in TBD3B, wait, if I do that, yes, Coffee for Lawn is the first result. And follow us on Spotify, where it's just awesome. Oh, one thing I almost forgot to mention. I was gonna put this at the beginning. This is like the end of a portion of our life, right? Like a section, a season, you could say.
Mm.
So we could say this is like the end of
Oh, this is the season finale.
season
Oh, we ended
finale.
with a huge bang.
This is such a sad season finale. But
The confetti. Wait, can you put like a little confetti?
right
Like
here,
special
yeah, okay.
effect?
Confetti
Yeah.
effect in full play here.
We should leave
Season
we
one
should leave them on
finale.
like a cliffhanger, you know, so that they're like, what? You
Tune
know?
in next time for season 2.
What should the cliffhanger be?
How will Pat and Elan navigate the online obstacles of internship work? Find out next time.
Find out.
And see
All
you
right.
then for season 2. Bye, guys.
See you next time. Yeah.